Good morning, everyone. I'm Bruce Shell, Regional Food and Beverage Manager with Burrata Senior Living. I'm here at the Village Langley Kitchen this morning to prepare a living, loving local dish made from fresh BC tomatoes from the Fraser Valley. Here we have lovely tomatoes that we picked up from the valley this morning. We have Romanesca tomatoes, yellow and red, some nice beefsteak tomatoes on the vine, and a little medley of grape tomatoes and cherry tomatoes. Today we're going to be preparing it with fresh basil, fresh green beans, a little bit of garlic, and finishing it off with a poached egg on top. So with the beautiful fresh tomato salad and the green beans, a little bit of beautiful burrata cheese, very similar to bocconcini, fresh, soft, and very clean flavor. To start off, what we're going to do is we're going to marinate our tomatoes a little bit with some salt and some basil to bring out the flavors and intensify the juice. So very simply, just cutting them in half and into your bowl. I like to do this all the time. Anytime I'm using fresh tomatoes in a salad, Greek salad, tomato and cucumber salad, whatever it may be, starting off with some nice cherry or grape tomatoes in a bowl. Grab our salt and pepper, some fresh cracked salt, a little bit of pepper, basil, and the basil we're not putting in the dish, so nicely just rip it in there. Flavor's gonna meld, and a little bit of garlic. And again, the garlic we're just gonna crush it a little bit, take that peel off, put it into our compost. Gotta crush that a little bit more. We don't want to chop it up. We want to leave it whole so that we can pull it out and not have it as part of our dish. Doesn't want to peel. There we go. Clean that up. And just give it a little toss. Let that sit for a while and let it just build the flavor. So again, we're going to start with a little bit of marinating. We're going to take our beefsteak tomato, a few slices, and we'll do the same thing that we just did with our cherry and grape tomato. Put this aside for later. Just fan that out on a nice plate. Again, a little pepper. Freshly cracked, a little bit of salt, and this time I'm going to give it a little bit of basil, or balsamic vinegar, I'm sorry. Give it a little dribble, build some flavor in there, and we're going to let those sit for probably about 15 minutes. So now I'm going to get prepared to saute my fresh green beans. Always start with a beautiful extra virgin olive oil. Heat your pan up ahead of time so that you get that saute, that jumping in the pan sound. A little bit of olive oil in the pan. Swirl that around a little bit. And in go your green beans. Not sure if you can hear that over the fan. But that little crackling sound is what we're looking for. The saute, jumping in the pan. I always like to start off with a little bit of salt and finish it later to taste. that on a fairly medium-high heat. I want to get a little bit of color onto those green beans. That adds flavor to it. And keeping them al dente or just firm to the bite, so you still have life in your vegetable when you go to eat the salad later. So now I'm going to prepare to peel these Romanesca tomatoes. Very simple process. You score the top, crisscross, and that's going to allow you to peel it very easily after boiling it in water and refreshing it in an ice bath. Okay, so now I'm ready to drop my tomatoes into some boiling water so that we can get those peels starting to come off. And they only need a few seconds. While I'm doing that, I'm just getting ready to finish up my green beans. We got the color that I was looking for. Now we're going to add a little bit of flavor. So a tiny bit of olive oil. And a little bit of chopped garlic, nice and big. And just tilt your pan. And what you're looking for is to have that pan of oil just start to cook the garlic. You're not looking for any color. And if we had the ability to smell over video, you're bringing up a beautiful garlic flavor and aroma coming off of that. And we're done. Okay, now our tomatoes have been there for maybe about 15 seconds. And we'll just transfer them over into our ice bath. Make sure that they're not cooking, because you want to keep them beautiful and fresh and firm. Yep. And that's all there is to that part. We'll let them sit there for a minute or two, and then we'll peel them. So our tomatoes now cooled off in the ice bath, and as you can see, the peel is starting to come off, and it's as simple as just peeling it like a flower. Pull that off. These are going to add like just a beautiful flavor. Without that peel on, they're going to absorb all that juice that we're creating in that marinated tomato that we're going to make our dressing from. And then one of our yellow tomatoes. Love the different colors that we can put on a plate. Yay! So now getting ready to poach some eggs for the finishing of the dish. Crack that. And into a bowl. If we come over here, we have our poaching liquid. I always like to give it a little swirl. That helps the egg create a little bit of a tail as it drops in. So when you drop it in, just gently. And these are going to take about 3 to 4 minutes to complete. And again, hopefully you got to see that, and just drop it in. Okay, the eggs have been in there about 3 to 4 minutes now. So you're just going to take them with a slotted spoon, lift them up a little bit, give them a check. I like my eggs to be soft so that when we cut into them, that egg yolk is going to run onto the salad. That's my preference. And bring them over to a paper towel lined plate and let them, that paper towel is going to absorb all the water off of that. Okay. And these peeled tomatoes, just going to cut them in half so that they're fill the plate a little bit better and more of a bite size for the salad. So now that our tomatoes have been marinating in that salt, garlic, and basil, you can see that there's starting to be a bit of juice coming off of that. We're going to add in our extra virgin olive oil, and this is going to be our dressing for the salad. Just a nice little drizzle. that a toss. And there's your dressing. Take a little bit of greens, put them in the bowl. So our greens in the bowl, we have our dressing there. We're just gonna lightly toss those around so that you can coat your spring mix is what we're using today. I also like to use arugula on this. I find the flavor is very good. And we're gonna lay that down as a bed for our salad. Spread that along our plate. Not sure if you can see that. So, just laying down our bed of greens for our base of our salad. It goes out a bit. Try to leave some room so that you can put your tomatoes and things around. Just gently put a few tomatoes in around the plate. Try to alternate with your colors, give it some contrast, some variation on the plate. We're going to take our peeled tomatoes and we're going to add them into our bowl so that we can give them a coating of that beautiful dressing that we made from our tomato juice, balsamic, extra virgin olive oil. And we're just going to let those get a little coated in there. Get a couple more. And again, lay those around the plate. A bit of color. Beautiful. I'm just being very careful. I don't want to put any of that garlic that we have in there. That was just to flavor it. And next, we have our beautiful green beans. I love to serve these warm. And we're just going to lay those in around. Again, I just love that color. It brings out the flavor. A little bit of color on your green beans is great. And next, our beautiful bocconcini, or actually, sorry, burrata cheese. Very, very soft and fresh. It doesn't have to be burrata. You could use bocconcini. You could use mozzarella. I'm going to do a couple slices of that. You can see how soft and fresh that cheese is going to be. Put that aside for a minute. Lay a little bit of that on. I don't know about you, but I'm getting very hungry. There we go. And lastly, we'll put our eggs on. So you just want to take a little bit of that egg white tail, but you can see how by swirling it, we get a beautiful tail on that egg. Put that in the center. Put that on. Go. And then just finish it with a little tiny bit of fresh cracked salt, fresh cracked pepper right on that cheese and that egg. Our beautiful beef steak tomatoes that have been in that dressing. Again, you can see how there's some bit of juice coming off of that. I'm going to make sure I use all of that in my salad. That into my bowl here. And to finish it, get a little bit of the dressing out of the bowl. Just drizzle that around. And drizzle it around the plate. And there you go. Fresh tomato, green bean, and burrata cheese salad with a poached egg. Enjoy.